Hi friends, it's Oshina here. I am going to be starting a reading vlog for The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is an anticipated young adult book for me. It's fantasy, it's fairies. A lot of things could be working against it, but it's so popular that I want to know what I think about it. So I have the first book here, I also have the audiobook, and then I've requested the next two books. I think it's a trilogy, and then there's some spin-off books too. I'm going to focus on the trilogy in this video, but we'll start with the first book. If I hate it, I won't continue. But I hope that I like it. Like, I'm going into this with an open mind, and...
I'm sorry, do you have glue sticks?
So I've never read anything by Holly Black. This will be my first book by her, as far as I know. And so I'll give you updates along the way. I'm going into this with an open mind. I want to like this book, but I'm also going to be realistic about what the content is. I'm reading this with the lens of my Christian perspective. Are there any themes or topics in this book that are against my Christian values? I will let you know. I'm looking at language. Is there swearing in the book? And then I'm also looking at sexual content. So how lustful are the thoughts of the characters? How deep does the kissing go, if there even is kissing? And then is there more than kissing? I will let you know all of those things in this video, and this is meant to be a resource for you if you'd like to read this book, if you're a young adult teenager, if you're a parent, or if you're just a reader who wants to know what is in this book from a Christian perspective. I'm not saying that I will catch every single thing, but I'll do my best to let you know what there is on different page numbers. So I have the hardcover edition, but I will also be listening to the audiobook. So again, I hope this is helpful. I'm going to show you along the way how I think about this book. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've already read some and I want to update. So I have two things to note so far. So far, overall vibes are, I can see this as a classic young adult fantasy. In terms of fairies, there is just a vibe or like an aura or like a tone to YA fairy fantasy books that I'm not into, but now that I like know it's a thing, I can at least like see what's happening and I'm less like offended by it, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, two notes. I've used pens to mark my spots because I don't have a bookmark. Okay, page 64 of this hardcover version is the first swear word that I caught. I'm pretty sure there's no other ones other than on this page. So the B word, B-I-T-C-H, is used twice in this page, and it's in a intense scene where, like, fine, it makes sense, but I will say, because it's on page 64, like, I've been, you know, listening to the story up to this point, it was jarring to hear that word because I was like, oh, you probably didn't need to use that word because you hadn't used any up to this point and it was fine. And to like show the intensity of the situation, like, just use a different word. Anyways, so that was used twice. There you go. First mention of any swearing. And then page 98 and 99 is the next section I wanted to make note of, since the page 60 whatever. No other swear words. Okay, so again, what was the point of using that? But at least it was like, it's not overly used, at least. So I knew that this book was like told to be a bully romance. And that is actually what turned me off from reading this book initially when it was first releasing and the hype was coming out. I heard that it's a bully romance, and no part of me is attracted to that. Already, I don't really like enemies to lovers, but bully romance, I'm like, no, there's no possible way that a guy can justify being mean to a girl for her own good, you know? I'm not attracted to that. I know that some people like it, but I just want to say that, like, I do think that's an unhealthy view of romance and men to like think that it's okay for them. And I know it's a story, but at the same time it does set standards for real life, I believe. So anyways, just saying that. So page 98 and 99 are a bullying scene, and part of the bullying is, so this girl is a human in the fairy world, and I don't think I even like told you what this book is about, but it follows these three sisters. Two of them are human, one of them is not. I'm assuming she's a fairy, and they get taken into the fairy realm because both their parents are killed. I think their dad is a fairy. This is what I don't get. Like, their human adoptive dad dies and the mom dies, but she also was with this fairy guy, and now the fairy guy has like guardianship of the three sisters in the fairy realm now. Did I get that right? So Jude is the girl, which is very confusing because to me Jude is a boy's name, but Jude is a girl in the fairy realm. She's a human, and fairies hate humans in this book, in this world. So she gets bullied all the time at school. At page 98, the bullying goes pretty intense where there's this like food that, there's this apple that you can eat. If humans eat it, they basically get really high and you can tell them to do anything and they'll do it. So one of the things that they tell her to do is to like strip into her underwear and like act silly. I know that it's a romance. It's supposed to end up being a romance between Jude and Cardan. Cardan is one of the fairy princes. He's like third in line or something. I can already see, I guess because I'm like a seasoned reader, I don't even know, but I can tell the scenes where like I'm really reading into each scene to see what possibly could Cardan be thinking. And I can totally tell the times when he is trying to put on a show for his friends so they don't realize that he's actually trying to protect her. I totally can see that, and I can see that'll be the justification. It is not a justification in my book, but because I know that's like the agenda of this book, and that is how young adult fantasy books are written, so that it's okay that the guy is actually mean to her at the beginning. Because I know that that's what's happening, I am okay with reading through it. Whereas if I thought that the author was trying to convince me that everything Cardan was doing was okay and he actually did hate her at the beginning and he was just mean to her out of spite and then he just switched into liking her, that's where I'm get frustrated. But now that I like know what's going on more, I can see like, oh no, I can totally see like he has to keep up this facade with his friends. He actually likes her. That's what I can see. And I mean, that has to be true. Otherwise, like, I will hate this book. But yeah, that's fine. This is slow and the plot is boring and nothing is happening other than her trying to fit in with the fairies, but also hating them and them hating her. And nothing interesting is happening at all. So that's all I can say. The only interesting thing is the way Cardan interacts with her. I'm just reading into all of it. That's the only like interesting part of it. The rest, I'm like, I truly don't care what she thinks about this fairy world. I don't care what's going on with her sisters. I don't care what's going on with whatever his name is, Maddox, I think, like her guardian guy. Oh, and she like, I guess this isn't spoilers, but anyways, she made a deal with someone and I'm like, I don't care about that either. Like none of it is interesting. I find that the writing is quite dull to me. Okay, I'm just curious to see this play out and see how the author writes a story like this. That's kind of how I'm reading it. So there you go. I will let you know if any more language pops up and what the content is. And there we go. I don't know when I'll check in next, but I'll let you know. Well, hello everyone. I am back to update this vlog because it has been like months in the making because this book is still quite popular. And I only get it for 2 weeks from the library. And I happened to get it like back in whatever January that I started filming this video. Yeah, I had 2 weeks, but I had other things going on. I couldn't like dedicate the time to read it. So then it became due and there was a bunch of holds on it. So I had to return it and it's finally back. So I'm finally diving back into The Cruel Prince and I have actually been reading it. I don't remember what chapter I was on when I last updated. I have to like go back and look at the clips, but I'm on chapter 20 now. So way over halfway. And this is so incredibly boring. I have to say, like, I find, what's her name? Jude's character. I can't even speak. I find Jude's character interesting, but I also find her annoying because I don't like the choices that she's making. And I don't feel like there's enough like world building for me to be invested, even though it is mostly world building. And I'm not like wishing there was more romance. That's not what it is. It's just, I don't find the characters, their motivations and their plans like interesting. And she's like working for someone and I just don't find that storyline compelling at all. Like I kind of just want to see her having to navigate the fairy world, and that is what this plot is like helping her do, but in a boring way. in my opinion. I don't know, like the fairies being so hateful towards the humans, it's getting old, to be honest, and they just kind of like use them as servants and boss them around and bully them and whatever. It's getting old. And I mean, we're not even done this first book. So yeah. And then I don't trust a whole bunch of characters. Like I basically don't trust any of the characters except for Jude. And like, what's his name? Locke? Or whoever she's talking to? I think it's Locke. Don't trust him. Don't like him. Think he's kind of like, he gives me, I guess you could say, Tamlin vibes. He gives me vibes of the fairies from ACOTAR, and I don't like that, you know? So that's that. And then Cardan, I mean, same. In a way, I could say that Locke is Tamlin and Cardan is Rhys. I don't know. But there's been no language since I last updated, and there's been like kissing, but nothing. The characters did share a bed, but they like actually just fell asleep, and there was like nothing sexual happening, and that's about it. And otherwise, it's just like a whole bunch of like stuff, and she's like going on these missions, but they're boring missions. I find like the writing boring. I'm just gonna say that. So I plan to finish this, okay? And depending on how it ends, will determine if I read the second book. Because this vlog is supposed to be all 3 books, because I was hoping to like the series enough to read the whole trilogy. But if this doesn't pick up, like I don't know if I can do it. I'll let you guys know. Alrighty, I finished it, you guys. I'm still sick, so you can hear it in my voice. I'm trying to power through, but The Cruel Prince, I finished it. 2 stars. I thought this was so boring. Things that happened were so slow to happen. The progression of the plot was so slow, and I was very bored. I didn't feel like I really connected with Jude. It's really too bad. I found the fairy dynamic with like between the fairies and the humans interesting, but it got old. Like I think I've said this before, like the bullying and the hatred towards humans, like it got old, and I'm just like, what is the point? And like, why did this author want to write this? I don't know. I am gonna read book 2 though. The way this ended, I'm just interested to see the dynamic between the characters. So I think the rest of this video with me reading The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing, those are gonna have spoilers. So this is gonna be the non-spoiler review for The Cruel Prince if you haven't read it, and then I'll do spoilers for the next 2 books, because if you have read those, then we can talk spoilers. So if you haven't read this trilogy and you want to, you can stop the video here. But in general, like, I wouldn't say there was anything inappropriate in this book. There's like barely any language, just those B words that I mentioned, and there's like no spice. They kiss like twice and they end up sharing a bed, but nothing happens. And there's not like, I would say like anti-Christian content, if you know what I mean. Like nothing super evil. It's just the fairies being dumb and like crazy. So I would be fine to say like, sure, Christian people, go ahead and read this. I don't think it's that good, but like, I don't think it's wrong to read it personally. We'll see about the rest of the books, but for this one, I'm like, go ahead, try it out. Maybe you like it better than I did, but this is definitely a 2-star read for me. I don't see the hype, but I'm gonna read The Wicked King and see if I do like it. So the rest of this video is gonna have spoilers in it, and I'll just like talk exactly what I think about The Wicked King and then The Queen of Nothing. And I already have them from the library. I can even go get them and show you them in this video. But if you're gonna click out now, thanks for watching. I would love to hear like your thoughts, I guess. But if you have read the books, then please stick around and chat with me about the next 2 books and how the series wraps up. I know there's a lot of companion books for this series too. I don't know if I'll read them, because we'll see how I like The Wicked King, but if it's boring, like I will not be able to push through and read more boring books. But I'm willing to at least finish the trilogy for this video, so let's do it. You know what's so interesting? Like, I would rather read these books than the Caraval trilogy, which is odd. For the Caraval trilogy, I like literally couldn't connect to the writing. Like, it's not that I can't connect to this writing, it's that I just think it's boring. But for Caraval, like I could barely get through Legendary, because the romance that was there, or like the dynamic between the boys and girls between like the love interest and stuff. It felt so suggestive and just had the tone of like, I don't want to read this. Like, it just had a tone that made me feel uncomfortable. Whereas the tone, the tone in Cruel Prince, I wasn't uncomfortable. I was like, okay. Like, I don't know, indifference, I guess. So we'll see about The Wicked King. I technically have started, I'm in chapter 1. So I read the prologue, and the prologue is kind of like a prequel-ish. Like, it's showing, oh yeah, we're doing spoilers here. Okay, so it's showing Jude and Maddox and like what Maddox was saying to her and like what he wants her to do and stuff. We'll see what happens there. I definitely don't like remember all the names and stuff. There was a lot of names and I was not keeping track. But we've got her sister who kind of sucks. We've got Cardan. She now has Cardan like under her for a year and a day or something, like where he has to do whatever she says. So curious about that. There is like a dragonfly on this book cover, so I'm like, where does that come into play? I don't know. Oh, Jude has bound the Wicked King Cardan to her and made herself the power behind the throne. Okay. And then here is the Queen of Nothing. I still have this book as well. So let's see how it goes, you guys. I will give you like spoiler thoughts throughout this book and tell you exactly what's in it. And I mean, if you've already read it, then you don't need to know what exactly is in it, but okay. Okay, you guys, I'm all cozy in my chair. Update on The Wicked King. I was listening to the audiobook, but it was so hard to follow for me. There's a lot going on. This fantasy world is complicated, and if I don't pay attention, I miss things and I have no idea what's going on. And at the beginning of this book, they are talking, people are talking, and there's like dialogue happening and like little descriptions. And I actually have no idea what's going on. Like, at the beginning, I was like, do I understand English? Like, why can I not follow this? But this is what happens with audiobooks sometimes for me. So I think this has to be physically read because I already, like, I started chapter 5 just physically reading it, and I already can follow it way better. So there you go. I was really on the fence if I wanted to continue this book because the audio was going so poorly, but I think if I physically read it, I will be able to get through it and enjoy it a little bit because I was ready to just like end this video. But yeah, I just sat here and read some and I'm like, oh, it's actually interesting. I can follow it. Like, thank you. So there we go. I don't like Jude. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like her because I just don't feel like I can, I guess, support what she's doing. I don't feel connected to her. I don't feel like I'm on her side and like I want her to succeed in whatever she's doing. And I don't find her interesting, like really at all. I find some of the other side characters more interesting, and I guess like Cardan and stuff, he is not a side character. But even his character, I feel like he's just kind of there for the plot and for Jude to talk to, but I don't know. I want Cardan's character to be better developed, but I will say that Nicasia, the underworld or whatever, not the underworld, but Undersea, that's what it is. She's the princess of the Undersea. I like her. I like her dialogue. She's talking to Jude right now, and I think she's funny, and she like shot an arrow at Cardan and Jude's freaking out, and I don't know, like, I guess I don't like Jude's plan. I think it's a bad plan. I think it's gonna fail, and I'm annoyed she can't see that and that she doesn't have like a backup plan, I guess. And I don't know, I just really don't find these fairy politics interesting at all. I don't like fairies, straight up. So truly, this needs to be my last my last fairy experience. I don't want to read about fairies anymore. I'm over it. They're just annoying because they're all angry and lustful and hate humans and so strong and full of magic, and I'm just over it, is what I can say. So I'm really curious how you guys think about it. Like, for those of you who have read this, I mean, obviously you're here with spoilers, so you've read it. If you've read it, if you've read the whole trilogy, you probably liked it enough, and you probably liked it better than I do. I'm motivated to finish this book and finish the trilogy for this video alone. Like, not because I actually care. If I was not a booktuber, I would quit this a long time ago. I wouldn't have even finished The Cruel Prince, honestly. So what does that tell you? You know? Because I don't like fairies. I really don't. Like, I'm a vampire werewolf girl. Like, I'm a millennial. Vampires and werewolves were my version of fairies. I guess for like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I don't even know. What do Gen Alphas hopefully are not reading stuff like this? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I just find fairies are like, I don't like them. So that's all I have to say. I will check in when I have another update. I'm trucking along, you guys. You guys. Okay, I don't think I told this vlog, but I did hurt my arm, so I'm gonna be like holding it funny. If you want to see like the full story, I'll link the video down below. But anyways, I hurt myself. This book. So, got to like a cracked door scene in this book. So for the paperback version, I believe it's chapter 15. Let me just get to it correctly. Chapter 15. Okay. So quite a ways into the chapter, on page 144, it starts, and I don't like this because the whole scene is them being mad at each other. She like says, "I hate you," over and over. And then it says, "He kisses me harder." And then she says, "I hate you." I breathe into his mouth. "I hate you so much that sometimes I can't think of anything else." And then they start like touching each other. So yeah, one of his hands touches her stomach. They're kissing, and it says, "I've never felt anything like this." They start to like unbutton clothes and whatever. But I was like, why are you showing teens that it's like okay to have mixed feelings about a guy and let him kiss you like that? I know it's a book, but values are instilled in people by the books they read. I do believe that. And this is toxic values right here. And anyways, so they start taking off some clothes. Like, when you talk about like hands being in between thighs, like that is image enough in my opinion. And that's what it says here. And they also want to take his pants off, you know? Again, page 146, it's the end of chapter 15, but she's talking about like, I hate being vulnerable. I hate that I don't know what I'm doing. And yet like her body reacts like it likes it, which obvious, like if you're being touched that way, you react, you know? So that just is frustrating, and that automatically like docks a full star. Like no matter what I would end up giving this, it's a whole star less because of that, because this is young adult fantasy, and I just don't believe that this is appropriate for teenagers to be reading, to be honest. Like, I don't know, we just have to hold higher standards, I think. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to chat about. I stopped because I was listening to the audiobook, and all of a sudden I hear the hand between thighs comment, and I'm like, I'm not listening to that. Like, pause right now. And so then I like stopped the audio and I picked up the book, and I was like, really? And it was so out of nowhere. Like, they don't even like each other yet. Like, why is this happening? It does make me want to just DNF it right here, because like, how would it get better from this, you know? And I already like don't care about this plot. I already think that Jude is not a smart character. I don't like following her character. This might be the end of it for me. I really wanted to like read all of the books to be able to tell you what is actually in them, but for my own sake, I think I have to stop right here. So that does cut this vlog short, but that's all you need to know, really. Like, I'm just not okay with that, and I don't want to continue because I don't even like the story anyways, you know? I thought I heard that there's nothing explicit, but like that is explicit in my opinion. Like it's vague, but it's also obvious. Like it's vaguely obvious what they're doing. So I'm just not okay with that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stop right here. Page 147. This is how far I got into book 2. It seems like with most young adult fantasy, if it is going to go down that road, book 2 will tell us if it does. And there we go. I couldn't get through Legendary by Stephanie Garber either. Not for like content like that, but I just didn't like all the innuendos being talked about. For this, it's just straight up doing it now. So that's it for me. Queen of Nothing can also go back to the library because I'm not gonna read it. So there we go. I probably should like do a whole update video about this, but I'm gonna end this vlog, and I mean, I hope that it was helpful, and I really am going into these books hoping to like them. I'm trying to read through popular young adult that teens will see everywhere anyways, and at least to take the mystery out of it, I want to at least tell you, like, from a 30-something Christian woman's perspective, I wouldn't want my teens to read this. And I still also think that the story isn't that good. So I know that I'm in the minority. A lot of people love these books. They're very popular. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you should all think like I do. I'm not saying that if you like this, you're wrong and that you should be ashamed. And if you're a Christian and you've read this and you like it, that's okay. We all have our own convictions and our own whatever preferences. So I'm just sharing from my experience, and I will not judge you if you say I'm a Christian and I liked these books. That's okay. I truly don't judge you. And I'm just here to give a perspective and to give other options that I think are more clean than these books are. I really don't have a good fairy alternative for you because I just don't, there's actually no fairy books that I like. But I will recommend the Prison Healer trilogy by Lynette Noni because these books are very, I would say, friendly to readers that are okay with reading a little bit of magic. There's elemental magic in this series, but the evil side is seen as being bad. Like there are, like, there's a moral compass of like how you're supposed to use your magic. It's only supposed to be for good, and there's someone who wants to use it for evil, and so we are against those people. So that's why I'm okay with it. And then there is one scene where it's implied what they want to do together, but they don't end up doing it. So like there is a kissing scene, but it doesn't get handsy and it doesn't lead to anything in the third book. But in the first 2 books, there's nothing like that. They barely even kiss. There's no kissing in this book. There's barely any romance in this book. But in book 2, there's a little bit of romance, and it's very kissing only. And then the third book, they do make out, but it doesn't like go farther than that. And I'm comfortable recommending it to a Christian young adult who wants to read fantasy. So yeah, I guess you would more so call it witches and wizards in this one, but that's not even what they're called. They're just like humans with magic and humans without magic. So whatever. But like there's so far there's no fairy fantasy that I can recommend. But if you're like desperate for a young adult fantasy book, this trilogy is awesome and I really like it. There's like no language in it as well, so I'd recommend reading this instead. Okay, there's my alternative, but I'm going to be constantly reading more and recommending more young adult books because I know the struggle. I've been there. I only didn't read this popular trilogy because I heard it's about fairies and that it was a bully romance, and those are 2 things that I don't want to read about. So when I would have been the right age demographic to read this, I didn't read it, and now I know why. And I was smart, okay? Hope this was helpful, you guys. And again, I'm not judging you if you like these books. Go ahead and like them, that's okay. If you haven't read them yet, steer clear. But if you already have, that's okay. I just need you to know that like there's no hierarchy, okay? There's no hierarchy of readers. We're all in the same playing field here doing our best. And I know that, and God sees that, and he does not condemn you. So I just want you to know that that's how I see you as a person. And I'm not judging you if you like these books. So I just want to make that clear. So not here to start a fight, not here to like point fingers at all. Just want to be helpful. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.